Hello there.
Hello.
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 Hello. Hello.
All rise and like, subscribe, and bang the gavel, baby.
Of February with the Hope County.
Welcome, one and all rise, or whatever they say in court. We got a case. Happy Monday. Myself, Credence, and Mikey the Legend, back with you to talk over things.
And so Dr. Muscatel cannot participate.
Sorry about that.
Hope everybody's good. We got what do you got here? And then I got
Criminal docket, Creed.
Okay.
We had Judge Paul was here. I don't know if Paul had to leave. I'm not really sure. These are Zoom courts, though, from across of Americas. Right down here in the bottom, Creed, is that one of the guys from American Picker's house? I mean, he's got like motel signs, hotel signs.
And also, I got small claims over with Judge Parcher, Clark County, lined up if we need it. We'll try not to talk that
later,
much.
sir.
We try
I
hard
understand.
to do that. We're going to be jumping around to
that's
different
all for today, Mr.
live
Stoken. Thank
court
you.
proceedings. We are not lawyers. We know barely anything about law.
Right, who's in the
But
basement of the jail?
We're learning as we go, I guess you could say.
Well, really nothing about
Nothing, really. I
All
mean,
right,
we
Mr.
didn't even know a cat
DK,
burglar was actually a thing. Anyways, oh God, he is mean
number
mugging
22
us
on
there.
the
Michael
docket,
England does not like us already.
22-1-91-14. This comes on for
At least he is
arraignment.
doing the over the shoulder. Like, hey, what's up?
Mr.
I
Festi, are
see
you ready
you.
to proceed to arraignment?
All right,
Yes, that
and
is correct, Your Honor.
is it
Defendant, Mr.
cranked up?
Dubey,
Because very,
and
very
I
low
had
for me.
opportunity
But
Yeah,
that's-
I was waiting.
All right, I'm ready.
He knows the
Let's do
nature
this.
of the charge. At this time, we'd like to waive formal reading of information, enter a plea of not guilty, defendant, and set future hearing dates. He'd like to briefly address conditions released thereafter.
Damn, you know it's
Let's
bad
address
when you're in
that
the
first,
basement.
because that would change when the dates are.
Good
So
point.
Go ahead.
Information, Your Honor, I've not been able to reach anyone at the Oxford House where he represents, he dwells. I'm familiar with this structure as an Oxford House. It is at 1705. I've had another person I know has lived there. It is at 1705 West 6th Street in Aberdeen.
11 o'clock
We
at
ask the court to
night.
Consider
Give it a
PR
rest.
an absolute condition as he cannot have any contact with
Mike, you don't
the
get any.
named
He misses
protected
when he
party.
misses
We
his
ask the
late
court
ones.
to
Nobody says a
consider PR.
word. I go to bed one night out of 4 weeks.
Mr. Jackson, do you wish to be heard?
Most popular guy
Thank you,
wasn't
Judge.
there.
Yes, so I'm just bringing up his jobs history. My recollection is that he has 2 prior recent convictions for no contact order violations, making this the felony. He's got a pending assault 4 where the no contact order stems from, and he recently had an assault 4 dismissed. They're all domestic violence, all against the same victim. So at this point,
Wow.
it's the state's position that Mr. Dubé is not going to abide by the no contact order.
They're coming in hot and heavy today, aren't they?
They're asking for bail to be, albeit $50,000, maybe a reduction is appropriate, but I don't think a PR is appropriate. Thank you.
All right.
Steve Jackson, everybody.
Trying to
Speaking
open
of
the
basement,
jabs.
that dude with the American Picker guy got to be in a basement.
I would counsel you against it and let your attorney speak on your behalf.
Or a
If you want
barn.
to say something, you may.
Mr. Dubé, please listen to the judge. This is an important statement she's made.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
All right. My
Did he appear
concerns
like he
are the
wasn't
same,
listening,
Mr.
or-
Festi, as I had at Mr. Dubé's
He had
first
that I'm not
appearance.
listening look on his face.
The motion for release or bail reduction is denied. That I also received from the protected party, Ms. Smart, a motion to modify or rescind the domestic violence no contact order. And at this time, that is denied. It's simply too early in the process. The court will reconsider that down the road. But looking at this history over the last year, I'm not going to rescind the no contact order. That's all for Mr. Debate today. So we're going to, trial dates Trial will be set for Tuesday, May 10 at 8:30. Trial readiness, May 2 at 9 o'clock, and omnibus, April
Him.
18 at 9 o'clock.
Them, they.
That's all for today.
Us, we. XT209-3DL.
Who do we have on the second floor?
Sexy
Meeting room
time
at the
sleeping
jail.
for once.
Max Tracy.
Early.
That was one of my
Right.
guesses. I said maybe
Good morning,
he's
Mr.
having some
Tracy.
time with his
Oh,
young
I mean,
wife.
Your Honor.
A bunch of stuff around the house, and I did a
Your Honor, this
2+ hour
was placed
stream
on the
already.
docket pursuant to Mr. Tracy's
One o'clock
handwritten
tonight.
motion for a bill of particulars where he
Uh-oh.
goes on to request several documents that I don't know if they exist,
What is
but
he
it's not
eating?
what a bill
Sour
of
cream?
particulars is.
I don't talk about Michael. He's already gave us a
Mr.
really bad
Tracy's
look, and I'm
motion
already
was-
scared of him.
Who's his counsel?
Mr. Festi, attorney serving Mr. Tracy, Your Honor, present courtroom.
Mr. Fessy, you want to present any argument in support of the motion filed by Mr.
I
Tracy?
heard, trust
Certainly,
me.
Your Honor, I want the court and the defendant to know.
We'll never see nothing like
This
that
is
again.
important to put on the record that an investigator, Lisa Wood, who has assisted in this matter, has additional hours. Mr. Tracy has
Papa, can you
represented
kick
me,
Michael
although
while he
it is a
eats,
late
please?
date. There's a possible alibi witness for his
He's looking
defense.
at
I
us
certainly
weird.
want to make sure that issue is explored. Ms. Wood.
Thank you.
He heard
Mr.
you.
Tracy
Appreciate
also
that. Man, we
wants
got some
better
polar out here,
information about
baby.
what possible witnesses have said. My investigator, Ms. Woods, has interacted with a person named Ashley Croy
That was
and
live,
Timothy
by the way. I
Tozer.
missed-
She is going to see him. She is able to say what they're going to represent. I have a written statement
God,
prepared by
Jason's
Ms. Croy that represents her statement about an incident. All these things I would share with my client. And I've shown him discovery and I've shared with him. I want the court to know State v. Divine, 84 Washington 2nd, 467 from 1974 represents that a bill of particulars is something discretionary with the court. But I want the court to be aware, I've met with Mr.
Is he
Tracy, I have an
happy?
investigator involved in this. I want to make sure that he is adequately prepared.
Where's Moto
for
G's hands
any
right
trial
now?
that may occur among his 3 cases. In
Looking
addition,
at
sir, Mr. Tracy has informed me other persons,
It's very
civilians, are going to make sure that he
stylized.
has proper civilian clothes for any trial. I continue to be of assistance to him. I know he may have different views
Look at
on
his
that
face.
subject. I want to make sure he is best prepared as possible for any and all trials that may occur under the 3 cause numbers involving. him.
Civilian clothes,
Can
Creed.
I object to
Yes.
this, Your Honor?
No.
He's
You
objecting to
have
his
an
own
attorney
lawyer.
who speaks
No.
for
My attorney has told me all I have is.
Mr.
No,
Tracy,
wait, Your
silence
Honor.
yourself. All right.
Another happy customer, as they say.
I think the record should
Your
reflect
Honor,
it.
my judge has told me that all I am is a light bill, Your Honor. For you to mute me is against my constitutional right.
Mr. Tracy, you are now in contempt of court. I told you. you
Okay,
could
that's
not
all right,
speak.
Your Honor. I have a right to freedom of
Mr.
speech.
Tracy, you're going to be found in contempt again in a moment. I'm going to
I'm
ask the
fighting for
corrections.
my life here, Your Honor.
I want the corrections officer to remove Mr. Tracy from the conference room, please.
Oh, fight coming on.
Contempt of court, I say.
You don't want me to lock you up,
All
do
right.
you?
So I don't have
young
a
boy?
right? I don't have a right to due process?
Mr. Tracy, you
You're
have. an
violating
attorney.
my right to due process right now, Your
And
Honor.
now you have 3 contempts, Mr. Tracy. Every time you speak today, you're going to be in contempt from this point forward. Do you understand?
I
Well,
believe
let
that
me
was
object
3.
to that ruling. And
All right, that's fine. All right. What do we have in terms of pre-trial conference?
We are set, I believe, sir, on the March 28th. This was special set per the request of Mr. Tracy, but we are on for 3/28. My last recall is.
On March 28th, in addition to the pre-trial conference, I will
Objected
address.
to all- what is he what is
imposition of sanctions.
I'm
for
objecting my
today's,
own lawyer, Your Honor.
Findings.
he had not
Yes,
but
sir,
a
I will
lot. Bill.
continue to meet with Mr. Tracy so we can be prepared for trials or whatever other options come forth.
I'm sure there's a
All right,
lot of
that's all
preparing
for
to do with
today.
Mr.
Thank you.
Tracy.
The motion is denied, by the way, Mr. Walker. The motion for a bill of particulars and whatever else he had
You
included.
see that
in
law
one
book he had with
document.
him?
Yeah.
Had him a big fat law book.
All right, who do we have on the 3rd floor of the jail?
Papa on his game today. I love it.
Uh-huh.
Did you say Zep?
Zachary Bosley,
Oh,
Zachary, if we've
Bosley.
learned
Okay,
anything,
thank you.
you can't object to
Right,
your
this
lawyers.
is number 6,
Your own
21-1
lawyer wanting to fight.
350-14, State versus Zachary Bosley.
Oh, the DPA has some fine hair happening
Yeah.
today.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Very
Brittany Stevens
nice.
on behalf of Mr. Beausoleil. We submitted a signed plea agreement and statement of defendant on plea of guilty.
Sup,
I
Ashley?
believe an
Hi.
amended information was filed as well.
All right, let me get the documents. 1 second, counsel.
I don't believe we ever sit before this judge, have we?
So Ms. Dorn, it's my understanding that the state is
Savoda?
asking to
I don't
amend
think
to
so. So they're
add
kind of going back and
a
forth.
count of
Tag
hit and run
teaming it.
attended vehicle. Is that correct?
Back again. Check it
Your Honor,
record.
I'm
Let's
filling
begin.
in for Ms. Thorne. I believe she had previously submitted that a motion to amend, and if that is
The house jump,
the
jump.
case, I believe that is exactly what she
There's a
intended.
party over here. There's a
So
party.
Ms. Stevens, in the motion to amend, it does not lay out a factual basis. Does your client agree to the amendment?
Yes, Your Honor, it is an agreed amendment.
All right, I will grant the motion to amend the
You
information.
agree to get a mint?
Mr. Beausoleil, can I have you stand up and get, so I
Yes.
can hear you, get close to the microphone?
Step up.
So it's my understanding, based on the paperwork before me, that you intend to plead guilty to counts 2 and 3 of the amended information, theft in the
Mhm.
second degree, and hit and run attended.
No.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All
He
right,
is
so
a
there's some things
collector
that
of
I need
fine
to go
hotel
over
items.
with you. Is your true and correct name Zachary Isaiah Beausoleil?
Yes.
And you're
What a
19 years
name.
old, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
What is the last grade in school that you completed?
Mind your business, Judge.
I don't know, probably like 8th grade.
All right, did you ever
so
obtain a
7.
GED or other equivalency?
No.
So Mr. Beausoleil, do you read and write in the English language?
Yes.
Rude,
Did you
isn't it?
have a chance to read the statement of defendant on plea of
Do you
guilty? and
understand the
plea
words
agreement?
coming out of my mouth?
Yes.
And did your attorney read those to you as well?
Yes, she
What a
did.
great education.
And you feel
Art
that you had
Vandalay.
sufficient time to go over those with Ms. Stevens?
Vandalay
Yes, Your Honor.
Industries.
Do you need any additional time to discuss your plea with Ms. Stevens?
No, I'm good.
All right, on the statement on defendant of
I'm all
plea
good,
of
Your
guilty,
Honor.
there are some important rights that are listed. Those include the right to a speedy and public trial in Grace Harbor County, the right to remain silent before and during your trial, and the right to refuse to testify against yourself, the right at trial to hear and question witnesses who testify against you, the right at trial to testify and to
I
have
feel like
witnesses
he's the guy that might
testify
fall in
for
love with his
you.
lawyer.
Those witnesses could be made to appear at no cost to you. You would have the right to be presumed innocent unless the state proves the charge beyond a
Well, she
reasonable
reads
doubt,
this.
or you enter a plea
I
of
just
guilty.
want you to see Westbrook Johnson's room that he's in.
Not just that, but you see the neck brace on the guy that just showed up out of nowhere?
Oh no, I didn't even.
Oh my
where did he go?
God.
Did he go? He's gone. Okay, Kristen is a zombie.
To the plea agreement,
Oh, broke neck.
they've listed 3 prior felony convictions. Do you agree that that is an accurate and complete listing of your felony history?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And so based on that, on count 2, you would have an offender score of 2 and a standard range of 2 to 5 months, while the maximum term would be 10 years
Oh,
in
that's
prison and or a
terrible.
$20,000
wait, they've been
fine.
on for less than 10 minutes.
Count 3 is a gross misdemeanor, so the maximum punishment
I'll
is
take any like
364 days in jail
I'd
and
like
or a
40
$5,000 fine.
Now.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
And based on the plea agreement, the state is going to recommend 5 months on each count to run concurrently, meaning at the same time. Is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, it is.
And Mr. Beausoleil, do you understand that the court will listen to the recommendations of the attorneys and anything you have to say, but the court can sentence you up to the maximum under the standard range? So that'd be 5 months on count 2
That was
and
kind of low, to be honest.
364 days on count 3. And because that is a gross misdemeanor, the court could run those consecutively, meaning that the one would be served and then the other. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
And you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
Well, it took him a second, but yes.
All right, on page 13 on the statement of defendant on plea of guilty, there is a factual statement that on or about May 24, 2021 in Grace Harbor County, you did wrongfully obtain or exert unauthorized control over the property of Jason Hatley, to wit, a
Brent's
KeyBank
brother.
debit card, with the intent to deprive such other of such property. Is that correct?
So jail third floor.
And then
is
as
a
to count
soft
3,
swing.
that on that same
Yes,
date
soft
in Grace
swing.
Harbor County, you were the driver of a vehicle involved in an accident resulting in damage to another vehicle that was attended by another person, and you failed to remain at the scene and provide the information as required by statute. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Bosley, how do you
Ooh,
plead to count
enjoy.
2, theft in the second degree?
Guilty.
And how do you plead to count 3, hit and run attended vehicle?
Guilty.
You
Are
think
you
Judge
making this
Middleton would
plea
be mad
freely
about
and
that closet door
voluntarily?
that's open behind her?
Yes, Your Honor.
Besides the recommendation that the state has agreed to make, has anyone made any threats or promises to you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
And have you signed both of these documents?
Yes, I have.
All right, I have reviewed these. I guess, Ms. Stevens, anything else you want me to go over with your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I've reviewed the plea agreement. I do find it's consistent with the interest of justice and prosecutorial standards, and that will be entered. I do find the defendant's plea to be knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily made, that the defendant
Hello, San
understands the
Pedro
charges
Jimmy.
and consequences
San
of his
Pedro
plea,
Jim, good to see
that
you.
there is a factual basis for the plea, and the defendant is in fact guilty. When do you wish to address sentencing, Ms.
It's
Stevens?
annoying. I get it.
Your Honor, I will be in person court for a sentencing next week on another matter. So I think if we could set this one at the same time, that would be fantastic.
They threw Michael out.
All right,
He hasn't
Mr.
been back.
Bosley, I'm going to set your case over to next Monday at 9 o'clock,
Papa was
and you will be
listening.
sentenced at that time. All other dates in this matter are stricken.
Thank you,
When you
Your
just
Honor.
roll
All
the
right.
dice every once in a while and just try to get out of a case, just try.
I just wanted to show you the guy. We'll jump right back to that. But the guy, I'm looking right here. Was that the same guy that showed up in what's her name's window that time?
It could be.
Just
I mean,
stood there staring.
we're in the obviously the newsroom.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
Grip in the
check that out
house.
there.
Your Honor,
Grip is
my
here.
recollection
Oh,
of the last hearing is you wanted an opportunity to review the DOSA recommendation prepared by the Department of
DOSA.
Corrections. Mr. Smith also represents to me he'd like to share information with you too before you render.
Hello,
sentence.
Vicky.
Vicky,
All right,
good to see
Mr.
ya.
Grip, is there anything the state wishes to add to what was discussed last
You come out
week?
of nowhere.
No, Your Honor. More so than anything, I think
Oh, really?
today presents an opportunity for the defendant to acknowledge whether or not he recognizes his problem and wants treatment. In such a case, I will fully recommend in line with the plea agreement. And if he expresses that he does not have a problem and does not want treatment, also the alternative in the plea agreement is the 60-month term.
Ooh,
All right,
rehab
Mr.
sounds
Fessy,
great.
anything you wish to add before I speak to your
I'll
client?
take the treat.
No, sir, Your Honor. I certainly hope the court will give him full grace for what he has to. I know that he wants better things for his life. I hope he knows what those things are. He certainly has had many years to think about it.
Is
and a week to
Bennigan's
think about
real,
it.
or is that the
Knows he
one
wants
from
to
the
especially
movie?
consider his
Wait,
I've
age.
been to I used to go to
Um,
Bennigan's in Wilmington all the time.
It's a real place. Love it.
All right, Mr. Smith,
the
I
place
do
from,
recall our
Waiting?
conversation last week, so I don't need you to go over everything.
know,
And I know some of
Finnegan's?
that
I can't
you
remember.
don't particularly
It's
wish to
close, right?
discuss in a public setting, and I understand that. I appreciate your candor. What do you want to tell me today?
Your Honor, I've been working with Miss
Shenanigans.
Rachel Mayer from
Do not
Beyond
watch the third
Survival.
installment. not.
We're working at this time on trying to get me some mental health treatment.
No, sir,
upon
Your Honor.
release.
Release.
Although I
snake?
say I
Uh,
do appreciate the dose offer.
We can go over to the Honorable Judge
Thing
Simpson.
is I've done DOSA 5
Oh,
times.
let's see
Your
what he's
Honor. Up to this point.
Oh, wow. What a cast of characters he's got over here today.
I'm gonna do for jury selection,
Here come the judge. Here come the
final
judge.
settlement conference, and jury selection.
Theodore Heyman.
Okay. Final settlement conference.
iPhone 1 name.
4th, May 4th.
Nice lamp. Nice ear, Christopher.
What is it, May 4th or June 4th?
Make your mind, Judge.
Let me see if you got any mites.
2022 at 1:30. Jury selection, May 6th, 2022 at 8:30. Bond with its conditions will continue.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
The lamp owns an iPhone.
I'm waiting to see the lamp bid. I'm very interested.
No, is this landlord tenant matters?
So the people versus
Probably not.
Enrique
She'd be here if it
Emilio
was.
Garcia.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ashley Lundy for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jordan Vidal on behalf of the defendant, Enrique Jaramillo Garcia, who's seated to my left. And we should have a translator
like him.
On Zoom as well. We did request one.
Oh God, do we got to?
And not our files, not marked.
So,
Do we
have you seen one where Judge Simpson has to call? We've watched some of them, right?
All right, I'm gonna pass the.
Yeah, I've had the one. We've had the ones too where they said there's not enough money.
Yeah.
To use these outside ones
That's
that they
right.
want them to use that are more, I guess, efficient. We'll say.
It is Spanish, correct?
Yes.
It does, but it's a lamp. What kind of iPhone do you expect the lamp to have?
I mean, that's pretty good for a lamp.
Hey, David Allen Coe.
I've met some lamps in my day. Flip phones, Moto razors.
Or it does call the case of the people versus.
Real quick, so I don't even want to talk about it because we haven't had a chance. It dropped the second that we went live, basically, like 5 minutes before. So we can't even. I hope it's good.
I hope we come out looking okay. There's a chance we might come out looking bad.
We saw it. Got my heart racing. Look forward to seeing it.
Do you really though?
I might not watch it.
I may never watch it.
May 4th, 2022. You know how happy that makes me. 1:30 jury selection, May 6th, 2022, 8:30. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Court calls the case, people versus Joseph Gregory.
Is that,
Ashley Lundy for the people.
is that bad or
Public Defender Melissa Kleeman on behalf of Mr. Gregory. And sir, can you unmute and state your name for the record, please?
not like a big crowd?
Gregory. All right, and this is the last one for today. We are asking to set this for final settlement, please.
What about the lamp? Oh,
Thank you.
Lamp's changed its name.
Took enough of a beating.
Is there a reason
today.
why these, I mean, they're discussing.
Going to bed at a proper time on a Sunday night.
These things rather than just.
He was
setting
doing
up
the Lord's
final
work.
settlement conference and jury selection.
There's no offer available for Mr. Gregory, nor was there for Mr. Golden Hunter, and Mr. Might had an offer that will be held open to the final settlement conference.
And that one probably should have somehow or another been resolved, at least.
Oh,
one of the three.
iPhone 1 has been
Final settlement
updated.
Conference will be set for May 4th.
Golden Hunter. What a name.
Jury selection, May 6th.
That's the only thing that I
2022.
don't like about some of these is it's very hard to catch what charges are when we're railing through these so quick when they're like adjourning.
Court
And,
calls case, people versus Theodore Heyman.
Ashley Lundy for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Melissa Kleeman on behalf of
Oh,
Mr. Heyman.
that's
And
tomorrow.
Unmute and state your name for the record, please.
What Theodore do? You think?
My name is Theodore Gerald Heyman.
it's an
And
iPhone
the
1.
last
So
time that we were here, we did
Maybe.
ask the court to reconsider the no-go to order to his home. He is stating that the complaining witness is no longer living at that residence. He did send me a couple of screenshots of him paying for the electricity bill at a different address that he says is where the complaining witness is living.
somebody call, please.
However, my understanding from Miss Landy is she's not been able to get into contact with
Where'd
her
Mikey go?
and therefore cannot verify that. But we are asking the court again to
Still here.
consider lifting the no-go to order so that Mr. Heyman can return to his home. As far as
There
what
he
we
is.
would like to do today, it sounds like there is not a cooperating complaining witness, so we'd like to just try to resolve this as quickly
Is there a
as
part 2 to
possible.
this? Or?
It may be quicker.
I hope
to
so.
do that
I'm on
trial,
bated breath.
set a
Waiting.
date for that, and then we would be anticipating a dismissal.
Oh, well, JG, thank you for the that. I didn't even know that, by the way.
People waive the right.
People would waive their right to jury consent to a bench trial.
Learning
Mr. Carter,
something
Your
new.
Honor.
Right, Mr. Heyman? You
And by the
understand-
way, we're not thinking something bad about the Law Talk with Mike thing. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh, no, no, no,
all
no, no,
good.
no, no, no.
We're fine. There's
Do we have to
nothing bad.
explain that seriously? We are a different breed. We do different things than people are used to, like watch things and discuss it with you guys. As if you didn't know, we went through a thing with like the stew page, right? Where we always talked about, some of these people like to sit in silence and listen to the only listen to the news people when there's a live chase. And for some reason, they don't like a community feel or hanging out and talking. And that could be the same for some of Law Talk with Mike's people, because even though we try not to talk much during We Got a Case, we still talk a lot. And we talk over things once in a while and don't mean to.
It happens.
What we do.
It just happens.
Listen, a couple decades in radio will do that to you. It's hard to shut up.
Yeah.
That's correct, Your Honor.
I
Yeah.
certainly don't expect anything bad, of course. That's not what we were saying.
He's a good guy and he gets what we did.
Oh, Mike's awesome, and he does. And it was very funny because I watched only the intro, and he goes, "That's very ostentatious for Mikey to call himself the legend." And then he says, "But you could call me Sir." What did he say, Sir Michael? I think it was
something.
That'll be
I
fun.
think Go ahead, Mr. Heyman. You want to say something?
I pay without logging in. They send the text to me for consumers' powers. So, I mean, that doesn't, I can't.
So
log
I have
in.
a feeling Michael roughed up somebody or
Is currently
threatened
living
someone
there.
he lived with.
I did send a current billing statement for my address, which is now $54, which is significant of no one living there. The heat's on 50 degrees.
Wait,
I went from $200 a month to $50.
what,
No, I
that's
got you.
significant?
I got you.
What's he talking about?
I think
I guess no one's living there, so he set the heat on 50, so it only costs him $50 a
we
month
just
to run the
right
heat now.
Don't. No,
Good for
know
you,
what
old
I'm
man.
gonna do. I'm going
Old
to do
man
it,
talk.
and maybe you
Good
don't
point there,
understand
too,
this,
Lud.
sir, and I'm not going to change the condition. I gave you a trial relatively quick, within 7 days, 8 days.
What do you think the link did?
Let's get there. If the matter is dismissed as what might be anticipated, all of these conditions are going to disappear.
If that lamp is in
My
like a
biggest
Motel
concern would be
6,
to
probably
change
consumed
it,
a lot of
she
drugs,
show up,
I would
and
think.
the next thing we know, we got
Just absorbed it,
bigger
Got caught.
problems. That if
Picked
we
up a
just waited
habit.
another week, we would have been good. So I think I'm going to decline to change it at this time. We're set for the 28th. If I could set it any sooner, I would, but we're set for the 28th at 9.
11 burglary conviction
And
as well. Do you see that?
Creed,
Allow me one moment to double
first
check.
appearances before the
He
magistrate
has
here,
lengthy,
Judge Jason.
history in out of California, so I may have overlooked that.
That's okay. Yeah, 144 cycles. I guess we can, the victim has the right to be here. Don't say anything. Let me go ahead and let. the
Drew
victim
likes Harry
in.
Potter.
Who's calling the victim? The state or Mr. Nyman?
Your Honor, the victim in this case will not be the state's witness,
Do you have that
but we
cranked
are
up?
aware that the victim would like to address the court. The victim advocate of our office already spoke with the victim.
Okay.
I have not spoken to Mr. Bailey at all.
It would have to be terrible to be a public defender.
All right, let me see what's going on here. Hold on one second.
Can you imagine?
If you had to take a public defender for something semi-serious, do you just give up and just hope for the best, basically, or how does that work?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I would think so, because that's when you go in there and like, all right, get this plea done, bud. Get it done.
Abdullah the Butcher.
Mr. Bailey, we're going to have to ask you to start your video.
Oh, Mr. Bailey's here with his video. Who knew? Drew looks frightened at all times.
And Your Honor,
Okay.
I have double checked the criminal history. There is a conviction for burglary in 2011.
All right, sir, you're in court, so you're going to have to, if you don't mind, if you can be seated. And I'm not, okay, I need
Nice.
to let you know what's happening in this case. I'll go ahead and read the warrant. I'm going to mute you for a moment.
Hi there,
Mr.
Jeff.
Bailey,
Welcome.
So,
Good to see you,
Mr.
Jeff.
Jackson, you're before the court under warrant 22W004180. That warrant alleges on March 19th, 2022, you did commit the offense of aggravated assault toward the victim, Mr. Bailey. In this case, it was a knife
Swinging?
causing injury.
Swing a knife.
And because you're charged with aggravated assault and you have 144 cycles of criminal history out of California, one of those yeah, you do. One of those is a 2011 conviction for burglary. And then you seem to have some robbery charges. I mean, your name's common, but this is what we're both coming up as being accountable to you. So you're not entitled to a bond because you already are convicted of a burglary. So you're not entitled to a bond because now you have an aggravated assault charge. You're entitled to a bond, but from the superior court, not this court. You'll have to talk with your attorney if you're disputing that this is you, but both the state and our pretrial services confirmed that you are the defendant in this case, so you're not entitled to a bond. So Mr. Bailey, there's really nothing you can say to me as a judge in this proceeding. Mr. Bailey, if you can place your face in the camera. I know that I don't know what type of statement you wanted to make, but I can't grant him a bond. So you'll have to follow up with his attorney if you're asking for him to be released. I don't know what you want to present to the court.
Let him talk.
I guess I'll ask you to unmute because you have the right to be here and to state something, but I can't. This is what's called a first appearance hearing. Who gave you the link to get into court?
I believe it was the DA who reached out to me.
Okay.
And they gave me everything.
Okay, so I cannot grant him bond. I'm not sure if that's what you were asking for. So the superior court will have to grant him a bond if he gets one. So
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I've been knowing Brandon, the burglary, was it a Georgia case?
No, it was from California.
Okay.
Yeah, from 2011. I really can't get into that with you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But you could follow up and speak with his attorney if you have any questions. But right now he's superior court only. So you can contact his attorney and the attorney will let you know when they have a bond hearing in case you want to make a statement about contact with him then. But right now he's not entitled
Very
to a
quick.
bond.
I just want to show you. So first of all, Ann Bailey looks. Oh, George, maybe. I just want to wait. Looks like he's in a commercial. It was so perfect. But I want you to see his aquarium. Johnny's got an aquarium.
That's a nice one too, boy. That's like
Minor.
wow.
I don't know or call, and then they could follow up with you when they had the hearing. But right now, he's not entitled to a bond. Okay, so you can call the public defender's office. Mr. Niner, who should he contact?
Isn't Mr. Bailey the guy that was assaulted?
Okay.
He's
All
the
right,
victim,
Is Mr.
right?
Niner the attorney?
They'll tell you who the attorney is on a later date, but you can just call the public defender's office. He's putting the information in the chat. Okay.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay, and you're excused from court.
You can go back to the
If you
cookout.
get that chat, you can go ahead and leave.
Get it, Mr. Bailey?
Go on, get.
Real quick, Creed, if everybody here could like this video, if you're ever on
Let me just
Facebook,
put
please
that one
share
in
this
Superior
video.
Court only.
That does us
That
a
is
lot
57.
of good. And if you're new, subscribe and say hello.
Format, and then also, of course, the benefit to Mike of getting the treatment in, Your Honor. So
Let's
we
check
ask the
in real
court to
quick, see what's
consider
going on.
allowing us some additional time with an eye toward getting the rest of a lion's share of that treatment done.
Right.
Still talking about getting somebody treatment, I
Absolutely, Your
guess.
Honor.
But I was very confused about Mr. Bailey coming in a while ago. I thought maybe he
Yeah.
was
Okay,
the guy
bond's
that was
been,
assaulted.
saved on Mr. Jackson. Let me go back. And we'll go ahead and proceed to position 5.
Yeah.
Mr. Howe.
He's like, I knew this guy. He didn't do anything like that. Oh, 10 years ago in another state. Gotcha. 144 cycles. Does that mean arrested 144 times? I mean, what's a cycle?
Anybody know?
Sounds bad. Real bad.
All right, let's see here, Mr.
Speaking of bad.
8-1. That warrant alleges that on March 19, 2022,
Oh, Drew's
you
got
did
itchy
commit
eyes.
the offense of theft by receiving stolen vehicle.
Okay.
All right, and in this case, I am showing Mr.
Thought there was
Position
more.
5. You have no Georgia criminal history. You have North Carolina 16 cycles. Those cycles include 2014 and 16, a larceny. I'll go slower so Ms. Sapp and I don't conflict. of
Anybody know what a
information.
cycle is?
Then you have a
Rookie numbers,
2018
16.
conspiracy to commit
Come
an
on, bud.
offense. Then you also have in 2018 a conviction for entering auto, financial card theft, plus possession of
Okay, Vic,
heroin.
thank
You
you.
also have in 2017 entering auto, another larceny conviction, financial transaction card theft times 6. 2018, you have another financial transaction card theft.
Thank you.
And then you have January 22
Wow.
of a drug charge out of the state of South Carolina. So I'm not even
Uh-oh.
sure you're from here, but I'll let Ms. Sapp.
He's probably on
present, and
vacation
I'll
in
hear
Myrtle
from your
Beach.
attorney. Ms. Sapp, do you have a recommendation of bond or any additional felony criminal history?
On his
Yes,
Not
thank you,
rocket
Honor.
cycle.
The state will recommend an $8,000 regular bond and stay away from the victim. In addition to the North Carolina criminal history, there is one cycle in Georgia from March 17th, 2022 in Powder Springs for possession of Schedule I drugs. I believe that would be an open case. And there's one cycle from South Carolina from January 2022 for possession of controlled substance Schedule I, and I believe that
nothing
would
in
also be
Florida?
an open case.
Are you in Georgia?
The state would like to
Yeah,
recommend
he's just floating
a
around, man. He's
$8,000
working his
regular
way
bond
down.
But
and
nothing
stay
in
away
Florida.
from the victim. The victim in this case is the defendant's friend. The defendant stole the
Aw.
car from his friend, and
Stole
the
his
state is
friend's
concerned
car.
that based on his criminal history in 3 different states, he would be a flight risk and a risk to reoffend, as well as a danger to community and property. That's why we are recommending a slightly higher bond.
Okay, thank you. All right,
Is
Mr. Nyman.
8,000 a slightly higher bond?
Thank you, Judge. Just to address the concerns as to risk of flight, Mr. Hawk does live here in Georgia. It is a recent move. He's been here
Creed
for the
frame.
last 6 months.
Court frame.
This is his home. He moved here deliberately to make Georgia his
Mr.
home.
Hawk.
He lives here with his girlfriend and his 2 children,
vodka.
2 years old and 4
You
years
know
old.
it is.
He has a job.
Huh?
As
You
soon
know
as
it's
he came to
vodka
Georgia,
she's
he got a
sipping on.
job, so it's been about the last 6 months. He
wouldn't
paints
blame her.
houses, residential house painting. He does have 2 years of technical college education under his belt. And so he's not a flight risk. And as far as just very, very briefly, this is not a complicated case. This is one he's certainly going to come back to court to address. I think it can be resolved.
He didn't have a
pretty
lot to
easily. It's
say
not too
good about him.
So he's going to come back to court. So we were asking for a lower bond. I would argue that's too high given this particular charge. I would ask for a $4,000 bond.
Thank you, T.
Okay. Looks like something to do with a friend of some sort.
That kind of
So,
sounds like good news to you.
I will
hate
grant
to
a
say it.
$4,000 regular bond, special
He's
condition,
not
have
very
no
good at
contact
making
with your
everybody
friends
sound
or your
good,
family
is he?
members
You
about
know,
how
it's just-
themselves to the bond.
we've seen better. I'll
4,000.
say that.
Yeah,
Have
he's
no contact with
not
Mr.
building them
Payne.
up.
Don't call him, don't text him, no contact with him whatsoever. He's asked for no contact with you while the case. is
Roger.
going. So we'll go ahead and have
Over.
him sign special conditions, please.
Her head keeps disappearing. Judge Jason's head keeps disappearing into the
Yeah.
wall.
Okay.
Oh, whoa, whoa. She's breaking the interdimensional sanctum there.
Yeah.
Got quite a few people to see today in this courtroom.
Everything okay on the
Yeah.
special conditions, Ms. Thomas?
Yes, special conditions, safe, Judge.
A lot of people got arrested yesterday, I think.
Looks like they were busy. Hey, we got somebody coming in. Let's just jump over and see what we got.
Statement from them. The
Judge
final
Clark W.
statement,
Griswold
I have not received
presiding.
it. It was
Ms.
not
Francis?
filed with-
Hold on, Ms. Francis, are you able to get the background documents for that show
Miss Francis is
charges and the depth?
interesting looking.
If we could open up discovery, then we would be able to request it from Synchrony, Your Honor. It just takes a while usually.
Right. I understand that. Is 60 days enough?
I think so. Could we do 90 just because the mail is so slow?
Is TS our guy up there?
Once you get those documents.
He's just
give
chewing on
Mr.
something.
Schwartz discovery. Mr. Schwartz means if you want to, you have written questions, you can ask those of Midland Credit.
Hey, it's Elliot.
For another pretrial to see how things stand.
Hey, yeah, we remember him.
Your Honor. Representing that bitch. I mean, that lady, the tree killer.
Karen. I think her name
Yeah.
was.
And then I'm going to do the individual who's in jail and get back to the civil cases, but this is the matter of LVNB funding versus Todd Swartz.
Yes, I am here.
All right.
Jay's here.
Is that Mr. Grain? I'm looking for the attorney for LVNB.
Sorry, Judge, who is the attorney for that one?
The attorney of record is
He can't quit fingering it. Leave it alone.
ROEN.
Oh, okay. He would be from Stanger and Stanger's office. He should be logging on maybe by 1:45 if it was set for 1:45.
Miss Francis's voice sounds exactly like I expected it.
This, so I will wait. We'll recall
Hey,
this
Keaton.
matter before long.
Keaton.
I will contact them to let them know you were ready for them.
Can't see over the desk.
Your Honor, she is not involved with the second case, and I don't want her doing that.
Oh,
You can do that, Mr. Swartz. It's a free country.
Okay.
She has a right to do that.
it's a free country. Wow.
All right, now looking to the Otsego County Jail, ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Amanda Richard?
All right.
Where's Diana at? Truck? She a truck driver?
All right, Ms. Ricker, there's.
Mr. Wilson, tool time. Whatever it's called.
Richard.
All right, there are two files, ma'am.
Guy looks over the
Home
fence, right? The neighbor.
Home improvement. Yeah.
Thank you.
As well as the prosecutor in file 2240-598.
Hey, Larry Brown. Any relation to Carl Brown?
Could be.
That is not his house, by the way.
It is lovely, though.
We've been noticing watching Catfish how they are using all Airbnbs now, and it's funny to just pick apart, like when you start seeing what's in the room, corresponding with people, you know, it doesn't work.
Felony of alleged to have taken place.
Bring it up, Lil. Can't hear Judge.
Okay. High as it can be.
Because you don't have the actual warrant yet.
Can you hear him okay? This is what we're trying to explain on
Stuart's great.
We're working on some things that are not complete yet, but it would be my advice to hold off until you actually get the finished warrant and not arraign her on an interim.
That's what I mean. You got to explain to everybody the judges are real low. Cameras are way far away from them. Everybody else is up here.
Let me just check to see.
Is
You
that
won't run
Miss
into that
Richter?
problem, no matter what.
I can try to find out. Richard, I'm sorry, where it's
I like
at in
it.
the process. I know Mr. Roll is still working on something. I don't know if it's that one or not.
All right, why don't you do that? I'll take another civil matter.
Bobby D.
Richard, if that is
Thank you.
almost ready. We will go ahead and do it. It's going to take a while.
Stuart did the mic drop.
Find somebody else.
We're down to now just eyebrows and a forehead now with TS.
Is Mr. Kadat here? Yeah, I do see him as well. All right, so this is a matter of Diana Horridge versus Nottingham Forest. Counsel, if you could place your appearances on the record, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Courtney Cadott, Legal Services of Northern Michigan, on behalf of the plaintiff, Diana Horridge, who is also present via Zoom.
Imagine having that last name going through high school.
Horridge.
Nottingham Forest, MHC.
Miss Horridge.
Right, this is a pretrial. I see is reviewing all claims. Mr. Kadat, could you just briefly summarize what this case is about from your client's?
Raymond, can you take your hat off, please?
Your Honor, this is a case about return of a security deposit after my client vacated the Nottingham Forest mobile home park. My client provided a forwarding address.
Great name.
And the mobile home park has refused to return the security deposit. They haven't claimed any particular damages or anything of that nature. It's a very simple, straightforward case, and my client suing for double the security deposit under the statute.
All right, and Mr. Blumberg?
Your Honor, we have provided the court and filed an offer of judgment in the amount of $300, which was the security deposit. It is our position that the plaintiff never provided a forwarding address to any of the responsible employees of the park.
Only the irresponsible ones were given the address.
That we have made an offer of judgment for $300, which has not been responded to.
I mean, it's comparatively small case, but are we ready for trial on this matter?
Yeah, we'll have to be.
Umberg, is your client ready? And I don't mean
Absolutely.
today, obviously. Okay. We're looking at a
Am I getting this right? Over $300 now?
hour and a half would be sufficient.
I would think so.
I would think a couple of hours would be more appropriate.
Okay. All right. Just to be on the safe side, I want copies of any exhibits and a list of any potential witnesses to be exchanged. Is 2 weeks sufficient, counsel?
So you want them in 2 weeks or 2 weeks before the trial?
Well, a bench trial is going to happen fairly quick, so I'm hoping in 2 weeks. And then Ms. Weiss will be, once we get those in.
I think so,
we'll
Vivian.
set another pretrial if I think one is needed, or just set a trial date.
That's
I
fine.
want to be sure we're ready to go.
Yep, that would be great.
Okay. And so if you can both get them in within 2 weeks.
I know. I keep thinking whoever's with Jay Baldy there, that she's in prison too, but I think they're in their mobile home at Nottingham Park. God bless.
They're just chilling.
Just be for an hour and a half.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We can't get the extra half hour, huh, Judge?
Well, maybe you can. What I'm going to do is set it at the end of the Tuesday, which is when I generally do civil cases anyway. And so you can have as much time as we need, just as long as we're done with it.
Fight over. Yeah.
Yes.
Good, thanks.
Oh, but wouldn't you think so?
Okay, thank you. We'll send out a pretrial notice order along with the trial date.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, sorry.
Yeah, you'd think that would cancel itself out.
It's like a wash. Don't make me get a lawyer over this $300.
Well, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 6.
Go ahead, Mr. Fenton.
Yeah, Mr. Rolla just completed his part of that richer paperwork. We're not ready. It's being typed as we speak. We're not ready for arraignment yet. It should be down there within the hour.
All right, that sounds good. Officer, I think we'll just go with somebody else. I think everything else is ready, but if we could get Jessica Wiles next.
Yes, sir. Miss Wiles.
Richard, as soon as the paperwork is
Coming
ready.
to the stage. Jessica Wiles. Show her some love, everybody.
That's true in some cases, yeah.
It looked like those two lawyers hated each other, by the way.
Let me just check.
I don't know what
I do have.
Yeah.
Should
Look
have
at
paperwork on Wiles.
Stewart is dressed great today.
Just to kill, son.
I don't see anything on Mark Mills, at least on
Isn't
one
that
of
a
those
rapper?
file.
Meek
What about-
Mills or something?
Yeah, what about Raymond Baker? He's down here with his hat on.
Let me
Get
ask
that
on that, Judge.
Okay.
Wiles thing.
Yeah, so, but I think we have red tape.
Yeah, the jail does not have.
Mr. Chitty.
The judge just leave them over here, and we just got everybody standing around.
Yeah, look, there's like there's an old lady sitting here. I don't
So
know
we
what's
got
with
up
her.
next.
We got a quite the ensemble
They'll
cast.
both be down within the hour.
All right.
Oh, who we got?
Show.
Miss Wiles is here, everybody.
All right, ma'am, are you Ms. Wiles?
Yes.
Okay, this is an arraignment. Also present is the prosecutor and standby defense counsel. Ma'am, the charge against you.
Classy bunches so far, not bad. Just a motley crew over there.
March 19th of this year, you knowingly possessed a methamphetamine.
Oh no.
You face up to 10 years imprisonment. You're also charged with operating a motor vehicle without insurance, which exposes you to 1 year in jail. You understand both charges?
Don't expose her to 1 year in jail.
Yes.
Your rights include the right to an attorney. If you wanted one but could not afford one, you should have an attorney. But at any rate, if you could not afford one, the court would.
Want to keep it on here for just a second? I'm going to BRB.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Jury trial. If you wanted a trial but not a jury trial, you could request a bench trial. At that trial, the prosecutor would be required to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. If the prosecutor could not do that, the matter would be dismissed. At that trial, you'd have the right to remain silent. If you chose to remain silent, your silence could not be used against you. On the other hand, if you wanted to testify, you could. You'd have the right to have a court subpoena or order witnesses on your own behalf to be present, and you'd have the right to have you or your attorney ask questions of witnesses against you. Do you have any questions about your rights?
No.
All right.
Plead guilty, might as well. Get it over with.
I do actually see you've requested a court-appointed attorney. You are eligible for one. And I will sign an appointment.
To what?
So an attorney is appointed for you. On this matter, I see the magistrate has already set bond at $3,000, 10%. Mr. Fenton, any comments as to bond?
That's fine by us, Judge.
Ready to go.
We're going to be offering a use in this case, which would be a misdemeanor.
All right. Mr. Brown, any comments concerning bond?
I had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Wiles. She's a local
hopefully you'll be
resident. Her
surprised.
family lives around the area as well. It's my understanding she had a job offer. I think she actually took a job that she's probably supposed to be at right now.
Yeah, Creed, congratulations.
Just supposed to start tomorrow.
Or tomorrow, I'm sorry. She's 35 years old. I don't really think she has any significant criminal history other maybe a driving on suspended or something like that. This is her first charge. I don't think she's going anywhere, not a flight risk or anything like that.
She got a job. She starts tomorrow. Let's get this woman
We are
out.
bound in the matter, Your Honor.
Springer.
Wiles, would you be, if you were released, would you be living at 2305 Patton Street?
No, where I would be staying is the 1341 Park Meadow Drive.
1341 Park Meadow Drive. Let's see what that looks like.
Who else lives there?
My best friend Jeremy and his girlfriend.
Oh,
How long have you lived in the Gaylord area?
three-way.
I just recently moved to the Gaylord area. My sister does live in the Gaylord area too. I just don't know her address right offhand. I just moved here to try to better my life. I just got a really good job offer up here and got my truck running before all this happened.
She couldn't afford car insurance, but the meth, not a problem.
From Saginaw, where the past year I went through
Saginaw.
domestic emotional abuse relationship, along with both of my parents dying 7 months between each other.
And are you, Mr. Brown's correct, you're 35?
I'll be 35 in May.
Oh, happy early birthday. If you could like this video in honor of her birthday, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
$300.
No, honestly, I'm not. I don't have any money at this point.
All right, ma'am, here's what I'm going to do. I will make it a $3,000 personal recognizance bond. That means you'll be released. You won't have to pay anything. You'll get the name of your attorney before you leave the jail, as well as your next court date, which will be by Zoom. Please get a hold of that attorney right away on your next date. Just because of my schedule, since you are being released, I know you did not have a chance to talk to Mr. Brown about that. Being charged with a felony, although I understand the prosecutor is offering.
You just need the tip of TS at this point.
Being charged with a felony, you are entitled to a preliminary examination. You're also entitled to have that within 21 days. That could be done, but it would be really compressing things to do it in 21 days. Would you have any objection to giving up? And first of all, let me ask you, Mr. Brown, do you see any difficulty in her giving up her right to have it within 21 days?
Raymond's got a great lamp.
I don't think this is going to prejudice her, Your Honor.
Well, we can only see the tip now of TS.
Right to it. It just will not happen within 3 weeks from today if you want one.
Just the tip.
You understand? Is that all right with you?
I'm not sure what that means.
Okay, what?
Your
Mr.
Honor.
Brown, I'll let you go ahead.
Okay. You have a right to have a preliminary exam where they would need to put up enough evidence to, satisfy the charge that you were in possession of that.
It sounded like they were maybe
You
lying.
waive that right. You won't have it in 21 days, but you will still be entitled. I generally would advise you to just waive the 21 days because it's going to be very difficult to get a lot of information around and things like that within that shorter period of time.
The tip.
I don't
I
feel
love
like
that
it's going to hurt your case.
Followed all the way to that point.
Are you in agreement with that then, ma'am? Yes. All right, I will accept the 21-day.
Rick's
waiver.
Cabaret.
This matter will be set for a hearing
Candies.
on the 7th of April for what's called a felony pretrial. Please get a hold of your attorney.
Good luck with that.
you have any
Happy
questions?
almost birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're all set. Officer, just a second, let me see.
I did. Okay.
We don't
All
have
right. And what's your recommendation on bond? Thank you for that information.
Of course, it will be $7,000 and no firearms.
Okay. All right.
That's kind of a
Mr.
gimme, isn't
Nyman?
it? We're going to ask for $7,000 and no Chinese food.
We got landlord,
Mr.
tenant,
Bill,
and civil
he's
matters over at
20 years
3B
old,
with
young
Judge
man,
Middleton.
in Georgia since
Mm.
2012.
You want to
so
jump over there? I
watch,
haven't
nearly
seen him
half
in
of
a
his
while.
life. This is his
One
home. He
of
lives with
these
his
and then
mom.
jump over. They got the interpreter
And
there.
His girlfriend that is
Oh, the
3 months
interpreter
pregnant, so he
part's
does have his
yeah.
first child on the way. We certainly want him to get back to his family at this time.
Oh,
Um,
they're having a baby.
The last year, he spent working for Walmart, specifically in their called Spark Delivery.
Hey
It's,
now.
Walmart's Amazon. Important job these days, given the state of the world. So he does want to get
Isn't the
back to
world
work.
kind of
um,
shifting?
And he's also working on his GED right now. I do understand the state just went into his criminal history. He does have some open cycles. Your Honor knows this.
Damn it,
I just want to state for the record, those are open cases, which means they're not convictions. He is presumed innocent.
I saw
even
they
in those
won
open
6. That's pretty damn cool.
So we would ask that you give
And
this
embarrassing for
young
who
man
they
with
beat.
his first child on the way a lower bond what the state is asking for. I'm asking for a $4,000 bond.
I hope so.
Okay. The possession of the firearm during the commission of the felony will be $1,500, and the possession more than 1 ounce of marijuana will be $2,500. And we'll grant your request of a $4,000 regular bond, but I am putting special conditions on you. Young man, you're not to possess any firearms while you're on bond. If that's not already a condition, then it is now. And
I mean, come on. Of course it is.
Once again, the communication process is broken down.
need to keep your job and stay away from these type of incidents because it's only going to get worse. Okay, if you can sign the special conditions for me, please.
Judge, that pep
You're not to
talk
possess
really
a
fell
firearm
flat. I'm just
while you're
saying.
on bond. And if you're in a car with somebody with a firearm and it's in arm's reach, you can be charged with possession of a firearm and then you'll be arrested again.
If someone at the Walmart buys a pew-pew, you're not allowed to touch it.
Yes.
Special condition same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there. Okay.
Yeah, we'll watch a couple more of these. The person
Position
that
11.
person that he's talking to actually down here, I have seen before. She's actually hard of hearing, which makes that
Okay,
even
let's
more
see. Give me one moment, please.
crazy. And
We had the one lady that I watched on Saturday had to lip.
Mr. Ramsey, you're before the court on
That's what she does.
22W004150. You are charged with. Oh nope, wrong defendant. Sorry, didn't pull up his charges.
Well, you're free to go.
2EW 22.
did watch one the other day where he had to apologize to this young lady that he said she needed to come in the first time around, that she needed to come in
All right,
and turn
Mr.
herself in
Ramsey, you're
because we
before
got
the court
a long
under,
list of warrants out for her arrest.
22W004186.
And she kept saying, no,
You're charged
no.
with
Anyway,
possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, in this case, methamphetamine.
about a week later,
And that's the
the
only
amount of
charge.
heat-
Let's see,
I had to
did I-
apologize profusely to her. Same
I mean, that's
first,
what a
middle,
nightmare.
Corner bag.
and last name. And
So personal
date of
use.
birth was real close.
Criminal history for Mr. Ramsey, 29 cycles of criminal history. It's riddled with multiple criminal trespasses and thefts, felony of aggravated assault and simple battery
Riddled.
conviction in 2017. Pending August 2019, just has a disorderly conduct, but nothing since then. Then he has out of Fulton County probation violation warrant, and that's from February 9th, 2022. So it should be a hold on him for that. Okay, Ms. Sapp?
Your Honor, the state is going to recommend a $5,000 regular bond in this case. Given his history, there were 2 failures to appear in the past, and 4 probation or parole violations in the past as well. And I do see that there's a conviction for aggravated assault from 2017, and there was in fact a February 2021 probation violation on that case. And I see 47 cycles in Florida until 2010 and 28 cycles in North Carolina until 2013. So the state is concerned about Mr. Ramsey being a flight risk and a risk to reoffend, as well as a danger to community and persons in the
But he
community.
doesn't have anything in South Carolina
Therefore,
yet.
even though we don't know the exact
that
amount of
state.
the meth in this case,
All these things
we
she
will
just said, but
recommend,
she only wants
a bond of
$5,000.
$5,000.
Okay, does the state show a
Drew, tell us about how
hold on
good of a
him for
guy he is.
probation violation out of Fulton County?
He's a danger to the community
Your
and
Honor,
will
I'm
probably
not sure
offend
about
again.
that.
$5,000,
I
please.
don't have that information.
Okay, Mr. Niner?
Thank you, Judge.
I got
Boing.
nothing.
One moment. Sorry.
Would that be funny? Just
Your Honor?
Mr. Ramsey has been in Georgia since 2013.
has he committed any laws or got
and
caught in
he
South
has
Carolina yet?
himself, looking at his criminal history, there is nothing out of state since 2013. So it's clear that this is his home. He's not a flight risk in that regard.
He's committed
been
all
here
his
for
crimes in this
coming
state,
up on
Your Honor,
10 years.
since
He
2013.
works at Waffle House. He's had that job for the last 2 years.
Well.
And so he does not have a ton of money. I do understand the state's position
Poor, Your
as
Honor.
far as his criminal history
Your
goes.
Honor,
However,
his drug
I am
habit
asking for a
depletes his
UJR just
bank
given,
often.
I don't have the amount in question, but it must be quite small given the language of the warrants. It can't be much. He really can't pay any bond. And so my fear is he's just going to be in jail for 2 months. It's would be teetering on pretrial punishment, not the purpose of bond. His home is here. He's not going anywhere. I'm asking for a UJR, Judge.
So when he was arrested, he was arrested for an outstanding warrant, and that's the warrant from Fulton. So for that reason, I'll go ahead and grant a UJR so they could just go ahead and Fulton can come pick him up on that charge. So I'll have him sign, sir, you'll sign a waiver. I'm going to allow you to be released, but you're still going to be held until Fulton County comes and picks you up to be transferred there. I'll need you to sign a waiver because I'm giving you an unsecured judicial release, which means it's like a signature bond. So you don't have to post any money into CAB, but you will be transferred over to Fulton County.
I'm just handing them off to another county.
So you're signing a waiver indicating that you're not going to, you're
Got your
waiving your
waiver.
right to a preliminary hearing since I'm granting you a UJR.
Waffle House gets mighty dicey about 1:30 in the afternoon.
That's true. He's got to start taking
Okay.
video of the fights. Get rich.
Maxwell Red.
Here comes Maxwell, hobbling up.
Is Maxwell? Yes,
He's got shackles on his feet.
That's what I was at. Yeah, the way he was walking almost looked that way. We're up against an hour. We
Okay,
appreciate it.
Mr.
Halfway
let me
home
go to
for
Mr.
today. If you're new here, slap a like on it. Subscribe. Notifications
All
on.
right,
We do this
you are
each day at
before
1
the
p.m.
court on the
East.
warrant, 2 warrants that begin with 22W004168.
And we watch live courts, and we bounce around a lot. Over at 3B, he is still live.
You're charged with possession more than 1 ounce of marijuana. Look, less than 1 ounce. I'm sorry.
If he's got anything
13.6
else
grams.
coming up, we'll jump there. Good luck with that.
You're also charged with false
2 years.
identification documents. That's a felony.
Oh, that's bad. The weed.
The weed, it's not so bad. Less than a gram.
So it looks like one or
day.
two fake driver's license. I show Mr. Red.
But
has
how
no
good of
criminal
a fake
history.
are they?
If that were the case, that'd be great.
And Mr. Niner, favorable information about him since you guys consented to a UJR.
Yes, Judge. As you said, he has no criminal history whatsoever. He is 19 years old. He lives with his mom and dad, and he's currently in college. So I'm asking for a unsecured judicial release.
Okay, you think he had like fake IDs to try and get into like bars and stuff?
At Hines Community College.
Hines.
It is in Mississippi. He's studying to be a nurse.
Oh,
a nurse.
Yeah,
Awesome,
don't
Judge
ruin
Barry.
that.
Well, welcome.
Good to see you.
Okay, I'll grant the unsecured judicial release.
ATK.
Okay, for once,
Right,
I'm
young
going to
man, I hope
stand
you don't
on
get
he
charged
should
with
be
any
let
other
out.
felonies. They
Yeah.
could have actually charged you with a misdemeanor on that.
If that's
Fake
all he
ID,
had, though, was
maybe
like you
two,
said,
so I'm
though,
not sure.
fake IDs.
Anyway,
and a
go
little
ahead and
weed.
sign the defendant waiver.
College kids
I will
all
give
have
you an
fake
unsecured
IDs to go
judicial
into
release.
places. Can I get into the club? He had less than an ounce of weed on him.
You're welcome. I hope you do well in school. Put this behind you.
I think that college actually helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. You say
You
he's
know?
in college, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guarantee you won't see him in jail again. I'm just saying.
Until tomorrow we pop on and Mikey goes,
Special condition signed.
He come back. Damn it, Maxwell. You damn it, Maxwell. This guy's slow rolling, but man, look at that shirt.
All right, Mr.
C.
Starling, you're before the court. You have one,
See.
just one count under warrant 22 W004221. The warrant alleges you did have in your possession 2 grams of cocaine, and that happened on yesterday's date.
Was it
I showed
crack?
you have 10
I always want to
cycles of
know.
criminal history.
I think it's just the powder.
2019 theft by taking.
Welcome, Denise.
Currently have pending
Glad to have
in
you.
July 2020 2 counts of theft by shoplifting, theft by deception. Let's see, and then you have theft by shopliftings in November 2020, June 2021. These are all pending, and August 2021. You also have a July 2020 and a December 2021 theft by deception. So
He's stealing a lot of stuff. Is this to support the old cocaine habit, or
Probably. I mean, that's why I want to know if it's cocaine or crack. There's a big difference to me.
theft? Well, look at that shirt. That's definitely cocaine.
theft. And now you before the court on the cocaine charge, which may be what's leading you.
Hope
all those
everything's
theft
locked
charges,
down
but
in that
nevertheless,
courtroom.
Ms. Sapp, any additional criminal history and or recommendation on bond?
Your Honor, that's all the criminal history I see as well. The state is going to recommend a $2,000 regular bond in this case.
2,000?
He spent more than that on this.
Based on the criminal history and
coke.
the facts in this case.
Okay, Mr. Niner.
Judge, Mr. Starling is a lifelong resident of Georgia. He lives with his fiance and his 3 sons. So he's going to stay right here
His
in
3
the
sons.
jurisdiction. He works for a concrete company, building houses, anything that involves concrete. It's a good job. He's had it for the last 2 years. I'm asking
He's
for
not
a
stealing everything.
judge, given the allegations, the incredibly small amount in question. I'm unsure if the DA's office is still following their backlog policy, but this would have fallen under it if they're not. So there's a very good chance this case will
Judge
never
is Sean.
present to a grand jury. I just would not want him to have an extended pretrial incarceration on this type of charge. So I am asking for an unsecured judicial release, given his ties to the community.
Okay, I'll grant.
He's a
UJR
pillar to the
on that
community,
case.
right?
All right, sir, if you could sign the waiver, I'm going to grant you an unsecured judicial release. You've got enough going on with all the shoplifting charges that you have and the theft charges, but
And 3 kids.
And coke.
I'm just gonna go ahead and let
Hey.
you be released without posting any bond, sign the stuff.
You got enough.
waiver, and that means you're not entitled to a preliminary hearing.
Got enough going
Such
on.
conditions
Just
same. I mean,
sticky ass fingers.
been away for
So
same
many
judge.
criminal charges right now. This ain't nothing. Go
Anthony
ahead.
Tucker.
You don't even need to give us any money.
Yeah, you're good. Just
You're released.
get out of here. I said, get.
All right, Mr. Tucker, you're before the court under
Good
warrant
Lord.
22W004210. Let's see, give me one second.
Look at his face. He's creed framed. Oh no, he's just crazy. Sorry. I thought he was
Wake up, Drew.
eyes. He looked like
Wake
he
up.
just did a bump.
Okay, you're charged under warrant 22W004210. You have one charge, and it charges you with violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of oxycodone, 26 individual pills.
What's the street value of that? 26 oxy in Georgia.
Okay, so oxycodone pills. Criminal history of Mr. Tucker, 2 cycles, but no convictions. Ms. Sapp?
Your Honor, that's as much criminal history as I see as well. The state is going to recommend a $5,000 regular bond in this case, given the amount of pills found in this case.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Niner?
Do you think he was
Thank
buying
you,
or
Judge.
selling?
Mr. Tucker is a 26-year-old lifelong resident of Georgia. He lives with his family, his mother and his brother, both of which he's already given us their contact for. So they're going to be in touch with him, supporting him. He's currently in the process between jobs right now, but he wants to work in a warehouse. Those jobs are in very high demand right now. So
Like that idea,
I'm
Jesse.
sure he'll be able to get that in order. He doesn't have an alarming criminal history, Your Honor. As you just heard, 2 cycles, no conviction.
Whoa.
And once again, this would fall under the backlog policy if in fact DA's office is following that.
We're in the wrong
I'm going to ask
business.
for another unjudicial release, given the allegations, lack of criminal history, and his ties to the community.
I just saw that. I just looked it up. So 33 cents.
Let's see.
In about, I average a 20. I mean, that depends on where you're at too. I'm sure you can get
Oh yeah.
4 times.
$2,000 regular bond.
Might be a dry county.
All right, you have a $2,000 bond, and you have felony charges pending, so you need to stay out of trouble.
Stay off of
Yes,
that
dude.
stuff.
Carol got mad at me the other night. Said, I have something like I have an odd question or something. I said, "Don't worry, Carol. There's no stupid questions, just stupid people." And she took offense. She asked me why we're not a chase. I had that in the middle of opening bonuses. We had a 20-minute chase, and by the time he got over to it, by the time it went to air, the car was all jacked up. You know, it's got two rims, going 5 miles an hour.
All right, you're before the court, and you are charged with 4 warrants under 22W004199. Give me 1 moment, please.
See that plane that fell out of the sky in China? Like
No.
straight down. Like
Did it?
it's flying like a 747 and it just went.
No, but I saw the Tesla that some dumb
Okay, you're
TikToker
charged with
jumped.
driving on roadways,
see that?
lane for
Yeah, that
traffic
didn't work
and
out too
failed
well.
to maintain a
No.
single lane on Main Street. Charged with failure to stop at a
Uh-oh.
stop sign.
What were you
You're
drinking, dude?
charged with possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony.
Failure to stop.
Possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute is a felony. And you're charged with possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. So we've got a young man here with a firearm and drugs. And let's see, you guys, all I show is a 2019
Trifecta.
Affray.
I'll ask for a $3,000
And you
bond.
guys are consenting to a UJR. I'm not comfortable with that, but Ms. Niner, I'll hear some information from you, please.
Thank you, Judge.
Bob, thank you for the 500
Mr.
stars
Lee
on the
is a
Facebook.
21-year-old lifelong resident of Georgia, very young man that lives with his mom.
Wow, that's a biggie.
This week,
Thank you.
he says he has an
Thank you.
interview with Amazon once again. I don't know if you see those ads, but I do. They're always hiring. That's a job. I'm sure he'll be able to get a position somewhere within
Guy.
Amazon. And
Sure
he really
he
wants to get out and make sure he makes that interview. So upon his release, he's going to stay right here in Georgia as he has his entire life. He's going to go get that job. And he does not have an alarming criminal history whatsoever.
He was going today, Your Honor.
So
this
Yeah,
came
just
off.
for sure. I hope they don't piss test
our
them, Your
consent,
Honor.
And the alternative, I would ask for a very, very low.
Hey, Denny is a TikToker, and he's all
under $1,000.
posting like being all happy about making the news and stuff.
All right, thank you.
Big time, Creed.
The concern is, I mean, the weapon was extended clip and possession of
Pro tip
felony
from Flush,
drugs
I
as
think.
well as a weapon, but I would consider a lower bond. The 2 traffic charges will be $500.
Me and Creed are going to start a business called
$500.
Dope Dash.
The
Dope Dash will bring you your weed and whatnot.
possession of the firearm while in the commission of felony will be $1,500.
Amazon's
then
like,
the
oh,
last
no
charge
problem.
of the
Come on in.
Possession with the intent to distribute will be $1,000. I believe that gives them a $3,500 regular bond. And you shall not.
According to my
possess
Mikey math, you only got
firearms
3
while
more.
you're on bond.
Creed,
You
you're
understand?
correct.
Yeah, You cannot
Yeah,
touch a
ma'am.
firearm while you're on bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Right on time.
I'm going to get a job. Right now, Your Honor.
Hey, Joe.
Judge,
Joe, good to see
I know
you.
we're close to the end here. Can I just have a 2-minute break real quick?
No.
I apologize.
No.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
No.
okay.
What do
Everybody
you
will take it.
what
Come
do
back
you
and
got
talk.
to do, Drew?
Yeah, whip it out.
You can have a seat. Have a seat, sir.
Papa Squat.
We're so close to the end, and Drew had to F it all up. Let's see very quickly until Drew comes back what we're working on over here at 3B.
For January or February or even March. Right now, we cannot. With our CR2 guidelines, we cannot.
They want some
Money's
money.
running out soon.
Thank you. Asking for monies.
Free money's gone.
Got a hold of you the first time, maybe we could have set something up, but you've made some payments. And it sounds like you're gonna continue to make the payments.
Right, Jay?
You said some things that probably didn't make any sense to you, but I'm going to continue this for 20 days for further hearing to see how you do on your payments.
There's going to be a lot of people out on the street. soon.
Arcot, you're fine with however you want to bake your spam. It's
So today is
fine.
21st. That would take us to
Change bake. Is that like shake and bake?
Okay, so I only get my money the first of the month, and I can pay within. You should get it by either the 3rd or the 4th.
I'm going to continue this to April 11th.
She doesn't sound well.
Okay.
I don't have you that day, Mr. Sutherland, but how is 2:30?
Look, I'm trademarking it right now. Dope Dash.
Monday, April 11th at 2:30.
That will work, Your Honor. And
All right, now, Mr. Sutherland said something, and I want to try to explain it.
Teach us.
Somebody is renting it is, and it's not in my name, and it's not in anybody else's name. It's in somebody else's name.
Oh, that makes all the sense now. Thank you, Mr. Sutherland.
To make the payment.
Thanks.
But they want to see how it goes.
Okay.
Now, if we do a judgment saying that
He said
you owe
doo-doo.
money on April 11th, they would not have to ask for the writ of eviction for 56 days from that day, which would get us into June.
We just miss watching somebody crawling their hands on their knees
Career's all caught
on
up.
this camera to get past.
Okay.
Really wish
This guy over here on the very far right, he bent over and like
Yeah.
crawled his way through so he couldn't be seen on the
Yeah.
camera and
a
sat down in
program,
his
but
little
they were
spot.
paying everyone's rent who had, not everyone, but many
That was
people
funny.
needed emergency assistance.
Thank you, Mayor.
Got help, and the landlords got help.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the money ran out. I don't know if
Doo-doo.
anybody saw 65 last night, but it's even worse. Rents are going up very much all over the country, particularly down
Yeah.
in the Sun Belt,
Especially Creeds.
and people
Yeah.
just can't afford to pay their rent.
When people are stealing the money
Right.
and not paying it.
Trying to get out of the "we're going to pay your rent" business.
Cash at me that, will you?
Miss Davies, I'm going
Sure.
to continue this to April 11th at 2:30. It will be at the same number.
I do find it kind of crazy. I mean, it's nice that he helps out with so many things, but I mean, you're extending the inevitable so much.
He's just buying time for these people at this point.
Really? Yeah.
To the $243 rent portion that is her typical rent payment. That way she doesn't fall behind. I just wanted to be clear about the expectations.
Judge Jason's back, but you missed Drew fixing his hair.
There's Drew. He looks very woke.
He does. His
Did he have a
eyes
nice
are
dump?
like this big.
Ms. Sapp, are you back?
Did he just take a couple of the bumps, you know?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's what I'm
Sorry, I
saying.
just had my camera off.
Oh, okay, no problem. All right.
I was being
So
inappropriate with
next
myself,
we
Your Honor. I'm
have
sorry.
22W.
Nobody does that anymore. Kurt.
Mr. Willis, who stand for me,
So
please.
2019.
22W 004156 in the warrant charges you.
Crawl up here, would you?
Alleges that on March 19th, you did commit the offense of aggravated assault with a weapon. In this case,
Ooh.
it's a hatchet.
That's scary.
Old school. That's an older dude, by the way.
Let's say maybe Bubbles' son
So
that
I
actually
showed
went
that
to school.
Mr. Willis does have 9 cycles, but it's very old from way back when. No recent criminal
1950s.
history. Unless Ms. Sapp, do you have anything different?
Hello, Rana.
Your Honor, that's what I'm
Right.
seeing as well. Although the state would like to point out that amongst the 9 cycles, the charges for battery, assault, and criminal trespass, similar. Those were violent charges like the one we are here today for.
Oh, he's fine. Let him go. He's got enough to worry about.
Your Honor, it was a
Case
long time
recommendation
ago.
on bond?
Your Honor, the state will recommend an $18,000 regular bond and stay away from the victim, except for one trip allowed to go back with an officer or company
Get
to
his
gather
toothbrush.
his belongings. The victim in
Get
this
his-
case
get his
is
hat.
defendant's friend. The victim
Hatchet collection.
told the victim advocate of our office that they have been friends for over 20 years. The defendant struck the victim with a hatchet on top of his head, and the victim had to go to Grady to get stitches. The victim has indicated to us that he wants no contact. And
Could have went to the
except
graveyard,
for the
so
one trip
count his
back
blessings.
to gather the defendant's belongings.
Good
Okay,
God.
and so, I mean, like, hit him with the pointed side of the hatchet,
Couldn't
or
have been.
just the hatchet itself, you know?
They had to hit him like
Your
a
Honor,
hammer.
I'm not sure about that. I don't.
Judge
I
Jason
can
asking the
check
questions that
again,
we're all thinking.
to see
I'm
if
just
there's
not
more
sure that-
details in the report.
It's okay, I was
World's
just wondering.
dullest
at least
hatchet.
Kind of, even though it's an
Yeah,
allegation.
exactly.
Kind of
Let his
gruesome.
head
So,
open like
okay,
a
Mr.
cartoon.
Niner, go ahead, please.
One good hatchet
Judge.
swing will do it.
Mr. Willis is a lifelong resident of Georgia. He's 66 years old. This has been
Don't
his
even
home
bother, Drew. Seriously.
for his entire life.
Seriously, don't. Just stop.
Specifically,
Just stop.
the address in question, this Misty Waters Drive address, that is his residence. He lives by himself. The alleged victim does not live there. Mr. Willis has lived there for the last 15 years. So stay away order, the alleged victim, totally okay. We understand that. But the one trip, I would
They can
object
be.
to that, and I would ask Your Honor not to make that a condition, as that is his home, and the alleged victim does not live at that address. But as far as the all factors are concerned, he's not a flight risk.
And a single
none of
mom
us ever
in this
lived.
college.
He is disabled and he's on a fixed income, so he cannot pay a very high bond whatsoever.
Guess
All
he's
his
got a
family
new place
history
to
has
live
given
then.
us a number of
He's got a
names,
new address.
and several
A new set of
numbers
clothes
that
and
can be
Crocs.
contact. So, and as you said, his criminal history is in the very distant past. I don't have the exact dates, but he conveyed to my office that it was many, many years ago. And it sounds like you're confirming that as well. So I would ask for a lower
Doesn't that
bond,
lend
not
towards a history of
$5,000,
violence?
given the length and time of his criminal history, and all of his strong ties here in the area.
It's a good point,
And
Chris.
Your
No matter
Honor-
which way you get hit by
Your
a
Honor,
hat.
I
over there.
apologize. I misspoke about the special condition earlier. The state would like to ask for one trip allowing law enforcement to accompany the victim to go back to the defendant's residence
Oh,
to
she
gather.
misspoke.
the
You said
victim's
it all
belongings.
wrong earlier.
Sorry about that.
All wrong.
Sap, how
Okay,
dare you?
I'm not sure
You
how I
blew
can
it.
force that, but I will put a note here that defendant shall allow
Weeks ago.
It was
victim
forever
one
ago, Your
trip
Honor.
to
Your Honor,
his,
he had
to
a
pick
giant
up
axe next to him, and he chose
his
the hatchet.
personal
It could have been worse, Your Honor.
items, and victim shall be
We've been friends for 20 years. Did I
escorted
get that right, or did she screw that up too?
by
20 years.
authorities. Okay, all right, so I'll take that out. All right,
What are we doing, Jason?
Cycles of
so in this case, it'll be a $10,000 regular bond.
Wow.
Stay away from
They didn't even
the
go to
victim, sir. He
18.
gets,
They asked
don't
for.
destroy his items.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
He'll get one trip with the officers to go pick up his personal items from your home.
One free trip.
Other than that, do not touch his items, leave his items alone. I'm hoping that this wasn't a very serious injury. I mean, it's serious enough, but hoping it was stitches, not like his head sliced
Yeah,
open.
gave
or
its
anything of that
skull
nature.
open. Yeah.
Well, Jim, that's
Okay.
that sounds like fun. That explains a lot. Who's hands? Oh, we got a new customer.
So, someone new checking in. State your name.
Guru's just typing down
Candace
single mother,
Wright.
school, getting a job tomorrow.
Got ties to the community. She once worked at a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let me just look over this very quickly. Give me 1 minute.
Is it that long, Your Honor?
85 over here. If you give us a like, I'd appreciate it. I'll mention you next time I'm in court.
All right, you're charged with misdemeanor obstruction, fabricating a story to hinder the investigation.
Fabrication,
An
Your Honor.
Did we hear about
investigation, you're
that?
charged, I'm sorry, 21W003912, 3, and 4. The second one charges you with false statements in writing. So let me just review this.
I like that. Stay away from telling lies. She had prefabricated stories created.
You're also charged with driving with no insurance.
Telling a lie and driving with no insurance.
And you're also charged with aiding an escape, aiding and abetting the apprehension.
Dash cam video, Your Honor.
Yes, of your boyfriend. Give me 1 moment.
Aiding and abetting the apprehension. You
Damn.
mean she catch him? Aiding and abetting in the apprehension of a capture of your boyfriend.
We got a cough.
And a 3-ring binder.
Okay, this is all confusing. Okay, I show that.
I think Drew's
Miss Wright has
mom is
no
just off
criminal
camera
history, just
cutting the
one
crust
cycle,
off of
but no
his
convictions.
sandwich.
Maybe just this case, Miss Sapp.
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct. Ms. Wright just had one cycle in Georgia. Although the state would like to note that that's a charge of hindering apprehension, just like in this case.
It's funny because it's true.
In Fulton, it was Nolly Pross, but it's a similar charge. The state would like to recommend a $1,000 regular bond and no contact with co-defendant.
1,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Mr. Nine.
Blew the judge's mind.
Thank you, Judge.
The hell you say?
52 charges, Your Honor.
Ms. Wright has been in Georgia for the last 16 years. This is her home. She lives here with her son, and she works as a real estate broker. She's been supporting herself that way for the last 8 years.
You sure?
So I do find that impressive. She's certainly not going anywhere. It's her own.
Me too.
She hung
That's
up
how
her
many
own
houses
shingle,
she
her own
sold, if I
business.
find
She
it
has nowhere to
impressive.
go. She's got a business to run. And
What's
a
her
son to
track
support.
record?
I
know people
Sells
have real
mobile
estate
homes
license
on-
criminal history.
Sells
as
mobile homes
far
on
as,
Facebook, like the ones that they give out for free. You got to
offense,
bring
and
them.
the court should be concerned. One cycle, it's no pros. That's that's a no process, not a criminal history. So
Oh,
I
Wang.
would ask Your Honor to consider that.
All right, Wayne.
She does
Your
deny
royalty
the
here.
specifics of these warrants. I'm not going to get into that today with Your Honor. But she does deny them and will certainly show back up to court to address them in more detail. But for the time being, upon her release, she's going to go back to her work. She's going to go back to her son, stay in Georgia as she has for the last 16 years. I'm asking for an unsecured adjusted release, Your Honor.
I'm just going to let her go,
Given
Your
the
Honor.
facts that her ties are strong and she has no criminal history.
Okay. The facts are somewhat concerning to me, but I will give her a low bond, but not a, it'll be $500 per charge. Ma'am, your total bond will be
Here's her
$1,000
charges,
regular
Creed. We
bond.
just want to get rid of
And I'm
those
not
all
gonna do a stay away
together.
from her,
Just
her
forget about
boyfriend
them.
or whoever it was. That's too restrictive. So $2,000 regular
Excuse
bond,
me?
$500 per charge, and someone can post that through a bonding company. And have
I'm
it
not going to
delivered.
ask you to stay away from your boyfriend that you helped aid in the bed. That's just too strict, Creed.
Seriously, like, so you know how they put those mobile homes or the trailers up on like Facebook, you know, but you got to come and get them. You got to pull them out
Yeah.
to have them for
Lorenzo
free. She's probably
Young.
selling those.
All right.
Yeah, beautiful hair.
Must remove from lot.
All right, you're before the court under 22W004219. The first warrant charges you with possession of 33 pills of ecstasy in violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. The second
Creed, you
warrant
ever take
charges you with
ecstasy?
Possession of a
Not yet.
Schedule 2, 6 hydrocodone.
I know where we can get
pills.
some.
Criminal history, no Georgia history, 4 cycles out of Missouri. Missouri's popular today. June 2019, 2 counts of theft and assault. And I think out of Missouri, there was a robbery conviction
Missouri?
as well.
Great place to go and rob.
I think we showed that this is open. Ms. Sapp, you can provide clarification on criminal history.
$10 bond, Your
Sure,
Honor.
that's other criminal history I see as well. The state is going to recommend a $10,000 regular bond because there were 33 pills of ecstasy found in this case,
Not a very
along
good
with
day,
6
Chief.
pills of hydrocodone. Given that he has not additional criminal history and given the facts in this case,
Hey, Frey Franklin.
the state will
Double
just
F.
recommend a $10,000 regular bond.
What's 33
Okay, Mr.
ecstasy pills
Niner?
worth?
Thank you, Judge.
More
Mr.
than I have in
Young
my account.
is a new resident here in Georgia. He actually just moved here with his son.
From
So
Missouri.
we know he's not a
They were in
flight risk.
Missouri,
He just
but
moved
they
here.
came here specifically to start a new life here and has no
start.
intention to leaving the jurisdiction. He actually just got employment right here in the DeKalb County area at Burger
Supposed to start today, Your Honor.
So
He just got a
he
job
came
selling
here to
ecstasy
live here.
pills.
That's where he's going to stay. He's just going to go back to living with his son right here in Georgia. One concern is that he does not know many numbers of people that can help him out posting his bond. It's going to be difficult to track those down, and he is new to the area. He does not have a serious criminal
Yellow
history,
Pages, Creed.
Judge.
Just look him up right in there.
And the allegations before us today, I think he is a candidate for an unscrewed just release, just given what he's in court for today.
Those are all for his personal
Beginning to
use.
establish ties here, and his son that relies on him on the outside. He's going to be supporting himself with Burger King for the time being, so he cannot pay a high bond.
Oh,
I fear any bond more than UJR is going to lead to a lengthy
Did you say
pretrial.
Burger King?
Asking for a UJR.
Okay,
NJR.
thank you.
You used up a break today.
The ecstasy pills will be a $2,000. The possession of ecstasy will be $2,000.
Per pill.
Let's see.
What's he doing with his hands on
I don't
his
know what the
face?
weight is, but gosh, that
Most
could
of
be
those bonds are
close
that
to
way, right?
trafficking. I'm not sure,
Uh-huh.
but
And some can be
anyway,
even
in the
cheaper if you get a
second
bail bond.
charge with the 6 oxycodone, I believe is what it was. Let me go with that.
Oh, he had some oxycodones too.
Well, I didn't say that.
We talked about
That'll
those.
be 500. Total bond is a $2,500 regular bond.
Okay, so
He
Sap-
just- his head-
Okay, so you
is that Mikey math? 2,000 each.
gotta come in
Is that
from
like goes back
Missouri.
to 2,500?
making
Discounted
good
rate.
decisions. Okay. And now we just have the language line. And I will call, it worked last time for me to. well, no,
Call
I
him the
didn't
language
do it.
line. Get ready.
I'm just conveying information to him. Let me try the language line myself. I
Welcome
think
back,
we
man.
actually had him call the jail. Let's see.
Do we want
Give
to
me one
try?
moment.
Do we want to see how this plays out?
Can I
Because
get the
usually it doesn't
number
work
in
very
chat
well.
to
Or do we
jail,
want to jump over to
please?
3B?
They won't let the judge call. Hi, thanks for
Hold on,
calling
my
the
lord.
language line.
Portuguese.
For Portuguese, press 1. For Spanish, press 2.
But dude.
For
Oh,
French.
Judge Jason's gone. Let's go over to 3B. I'll be RB.
Last year, and I told her that I knew you, and she said, I know you do. I said, well, I like working with her.
I said, yes, I know that old
But
son.
you're
bitch.
between a rock and a hard place. You're in there, you don't have a lease, you're not paying any rent, and the landlord wants their house back.
I understand that.
We're going to address this next Monday, and if they get what they ask for, you'd have 10 days from next Monday to be out. It already got adjourned because of your mother's medical situation.
Falls back on that.
And so I don't want to continue it any further than 7 days. All right, we'll address this again. Now, where did you last work, Katisha?
The last place I worked was a company called Lippert Components in Goshen.
All right, well, I know you had trouble staying for a long period of time.
Well, that was a car. It was I can't drive. So, however, can I just say this? I do have a job. I just got hired today at International Paper, which is right down the street from where we live.
Everybody getting jobs today.
It's right across the street on 3rd Street where we live. I had an interview on Thursday and a tour on Friday, and she called me this morning to offer me the job. And I go in tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock to fill out my paperwork, and then I go to IMED for my drug screen and physical.
Well, let's hope you pass that.
We can discuss this further next week. International Paper pays a good wage. It is right across the street, but I can't make them sign a lease with you if they don't wish to.
I understand. I understand that.
Well, good for you.
The only thing I'm asking for is a extra time to get the house fully. I mean, here's the thing. There are 12 years because we've been here since 2010.
12 years of dirt.
12 years worth of stuff in this house. And all I need is a little extra time to get it all cleared out properly. I'm not trying to stay here. I understand they want their house back. I am not trying to keep anything. I just want to make sure that I can get it all out in a proper fashion.
12
That's
years
all.
worth of stuff in this house.
Well, they filed this notice to quit on you in
International Paper. What did they pay? You said they pay a good wage.
so
What's
you
the
know
wage?
it's coming.
Yeah, but I have been I've been looking for a job since then. And it's not like I've been doing nothing. I was looking for work. I
It's
just so
Larry.
happened to find it now.
Looking for a job and looking to move. Now, your mother left you there, so 12 years of stuff is her stuff?
Yeah, some of my stuff is still there.
All right, well, here's the deal. We're gonna address this again next Monday at 1:45. And then you'd have 10 more days from then.
You had to back up the dump truck to clean that
Then we'll
place out.
discuss it further next Monday. But she's A, not willing to sign a lease, and B, doesn't want to extend the time past the 10-day statutory period.
Yeah.
All right,
I
I'll
get
see
2 days
everybody.
past that.
What's that?
Gonna have 2 days past the 8th. Just the weekend.
We'll discuss that next week. See how we're-
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Paper jobs are good. That's what Jasper's got.
We're gonna need a court-appointed dumpster, Creed.
International
Okay.
paper pays good, but it's hard. work.
12 years. Yeah, 12
You
years.
said the 11th?
No.
Oh, no, 28.
No, 28.
The
I'll send you that note.
Judge thinking about quitting here and going to get a job at International Paper.
All right. I know
By the way,
that-
I have Judge Kim presiding.
Oh, good. We can.
I've evicted Katisha before in an apartment, and I
Oh.
didn't know
Damn.
she's been in there off and on. She's there and then she's not there. And
Well, I don't want
Olivia,
to talk about it anymore without her being here.
Okay.
I'm here to talk shit, Your Honor.
Monday.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Enjoy your day. Debbie came
Thank
back
you.
with some sort of virus or cold or something.
Deb did?
Yep.
She must have got it on the airplane. 'cause there's
Deborah
no
Davis
disease
been on
down here.
vacation.
She got
Now
it
you
on
see
there.
it.
Got it.
We had a good time though.
Okay. I'll see you next Monday.
All right. Thank you.
They're on a lot, that couple down in the corner
All
there.
right, Amy.
Is that it?
I don't know if you got all Debbie and her friends. Somehow, Terry helped them find a place to stay down there in the Keys, and they stopped to visit her when they were down there.
So they got a bunch of houses and stuff.
All right. Amy,
No Judge Middleton very well. They have a lot of banter back and forth, that couple that
you know what happens when the money runs out? I won't see you anymore after about May 1st.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if there's
Well,
gonna be another.
seen that lady a
program.
lot.
I really
Oh, yeah.
have no clue. I haven't
Well, there
heard
certainly
anything.
is a-
Amy's on all the
They
time.
had a thing on 60 Minutes last night. Large companies are buying a lot of rental properties and buying houses, single-family homes, and as opposed to selling them, they're buying them and then renting them.
By large companies, he means investment
Except
firms and
there's
stuff.
no guarantee that your rent won't continue to go up. So it's not a huge percentage, but it's growing, and it's not really our market up here up north, but people are struggling, trying to find places to live, trying to afford it. So
Yeah.
I'll see you next Monday.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll see you Friday.
Be interesting to see.
Friday.
Be interesting to see what happens with all that, because I mean that is helping a lot of people. Be interesting if that money runs
And
out. What are you going to
Not
do?
everybody is mooching. There are people who actually need it.
Wow, small crowd over to Judge Kim's place today. G-Pod in the house.
Judge Kim presiding.
Is he just starting?
Intimate. I'm not sure.
All right. Are you Emmanuel?
Speak up.
I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a child's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. We have appointed Mr. Adeniji as your attorney. Good
The
afternoon.
attorney
to you.
room, also known as
Yeah, good afternoon.
Starbucks.
The coffee room.
So Emmanuel, 16 years old. You were here, placed on probation in 2018. So you were 12 at the time for theft.
Wow, 12 years
That's
old.
right before your birthday. Okay. Then you had a couple more arrests, but nothing happened out of it. You do not have a parent here. All right, so
See you back in 10 business days.
on Saturday, Haltom City Dispatch Domestic, met with your mom, friend translated, and seems like
You hit your mom, dude?
your mom went to your room to confront you as she thought you took some of her alcohol. Your argument. So she said you pushed her to the ground, hit her in the face with your hands and a wooden spoon, which caused pain.
Oh.
So
Tables
mom
have turned.
came to your room accusing you of stealing alcohol and started beating. You said mom and her friend came to your room accusing you of stealing alcohol and beating you.
Well, ain't that something? A wooden
Next.
spoon. I beat my mom's.
Mom's first day at a new job, so she could not beat you.
You can't make that shit up. Mom's first day at a new job.
Maria, can we do an alcohol test?
An alcohol test?
Yes. Does our lab do that?
I haven't. I'm not sure we can, but I can ask. He was drug tested, and he did test negative for all other substances on our drug test that we have in detention.
It does not screen for alcohol, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Did do a blood draw for the alcohol. I hear one more person got a job today. Mom would be here, but she just started with the international paper. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Mr. Adniji.
Yes, Judge.
I want to ask a couple questions that kind of pushes the envelope. It seems that nothing that's said in a detention hearing can be used against him at any other hearing. Do you mind if I ask your client questions?
I don't have a problem with that, Judge.
All right, Emmanuel, I have a question. So you told the police that your mom and her friend just came to your room, accused you of stealing the alcohol and started beating you. So now I have to worry about whether you're safe in your own home or not, or should I call CPS and send you over there?
Yes, I'm safe.
Does your mom come into your room and just start beating you for no reason?
I don't usually do that, but like I'm safe being in.
So you say not usually. So sometimes she comes in your room and starts beating you?
Oh, not really.
Not so kind of?
That's what happened Saturday, but she don't beat me up. She don't really beat me up.
He's covering up for something.
Ms. Ross, have you met mom?
No, Your Honor.
Like, is she small in stature? Do we know?
I don't know. This is the first time that I've met with this family.
Judge, I don't think there's that concern in this case. I think it's just cultural differences in terms of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the police may have represented it the way the court just observed.
Court frame.
I don't think that's what he was trying to communicate. I think it's just a question of discipline in the house. And the mom did express that she understands in the United States you don't fight with
so
a
she's
child.
from another country.
That contradicts the fact that the mom may be beating him. She understands, and she said it to the police.
Mr. Edgy, I know you speak like 4 languages. Do you speak Swahili?
No, but I sound like speaking Swahili.
But you what?
I don't speak Swahili, but it sounds like I do.
Now you speak like 4 languages, don't you?
No, I speak only 2. And that is my local language and English. It may sound like Swahili, Judge.
I thought you spoke French.
No, my son does.
Your son does. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, still not 4, Judge. Swahili.
Still not there.
Does the mom speak Swahili? Is that what we're looking for here? Or are we just on a fishing expedition?
Ms. Rojas, you're comfortable with the child going home to the mother?
At this point, Your Honor, based on what Mom informed me, yes.
All right, let's try it out. So, Emmanuel, just so you know, I don't know if it's true or not what you told the police, but you have to understand that if it is something that you just told the police so you can avoid getting arrested or going to jail or getting in trouble with the law, just be careful, because if you were lying, that could have opened up something big with me sending you to CPS. Okay. There's no situation so bad that you can't make it worse. And you on this one, you may have made it worse. All right. All right. So Emmanuel, I'm gonna send you home for now, but we're gonna follow up. If it seems like there's more problems at your home,
Didn't see that coming.
Then
that's the first time we've seen Judge Kim send anybody home.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Has he been there a while?
Christopher. Oh,
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Don't bring Christopher yet.
Okay. Stay right where he's at.
Those are all the 14-year-olds. So, all right. So at this point, all these proceedings have been broadcast.
Joe, thank you.
Article
Hallelujah.
one.
While they're doing that, let's just jump over here some more first appearances and see what's happening.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to let us see any more of the cases. I think that's what he was going to say.
There under the direction of a sheriff's officer.
I have a question. I have called 911 several times over the past couple weeks, and sometimes the sheriff doesn't even show up. So,
Been there.
what do I do if I need him? And that's part of the issue that's happening. If I call and I need help, I don't even get sometimes.
That question's probably better directed at some official with the Butler County Sheriff's Office. I can't answer that question. I presume that if an officer needs to be dispatched, it will. Okay. So,
Your Honor, I
but again,
confirm that his bond is $3,500 and not $7,500.
3,500 is where I set it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, you guys.
Live from the policeman's locker room.
Nothing further than the Markley matters will be in recess.
And
All
I
right,
think
Ms.
that
Norris, my list is fairly short. Were you aware of any other matters that you believe were going to be called on this docket?
I am not, Your Honor.
Very well. Then that will conclude the first.
all right. Well, that's the first time that's ever happened that both people went off right at the same time.
Well, see, this is the perfect opportunity to tell everybody. We do this 5 days a week. Zoom court, live across the country. Please like, share, and go to the fresh mountain air that Jackie is at right now. Jackie Parko. What a great name, by the way.
He's got a nice view. I don't know why he's doing it outside, but whatever. Better than seeing a lamp. Does Dale have a rug on?
Again by Zoom, and
I hope so. Why's that lion smiling in that picture behind him? What's he got to be so damn happy about?
May 16th. That'll be Monday, May 16th.
Thank
at
you, our guy.
1:30. But make sure I have all the exhibits. Make sure you each other have all your exhibits. Make sure you have your witnesses that might want to testify, and that's for both sides.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir?
I have a issue with that date.
Okay, well then let me look at a different one. How about May 23rd?
That'll work, sir. My son's graduating high school that weekend, and
Okay, Mr. Parker, does May 23rd,
Congratulations.
30 work for you?
I don't know. My wife is going through some medical things, as I've made the court aware of that. Surgeries, and I would have to double check to make sure that there's not a conflict with surgery.
Okay.
So
Go
I would
ahead.
have to
Yeah,
confirm.
go ahead and do that, and if there is, then we'll pick another date if she.
All right, I appreciate that.
Have time for it. Okay. All right, unless I hear otherwise, but make sure you keep your contact information available to the court so that if we do have to change something, we can let you know.
Thank you.
I have one more question.
Thank you for the
Your Honor.
fries.
Since Mr. Parko has my
Fries.
exhibits, I do not need to resubmit them, do I?
Not unless you have any more exhibits.
Okay. Okay.
You would, Mr. Parker, if you could get a copy over to him.
Mr. Parko is the very
like to
old
have to
Vincent
provide a
Price.
What you want the court to note.
Dude.
Kaylee, if you can track those down for me, that would be great. If
Dude.
not, we're gonna have to let Mr. Parker know to send them again, but it sounds like you have them.
Judge Weber, nude from the waist down.
I just want to confirm that I have the correct mailing address, because at the time, Mr. Fisher, I didn't have an email for you guys, so I sent them out hard copy in the mail. They should have come to you. If they didn't, I just want to double check
Stop
that
the
I
clock.
have the correct mailing address so that I can make sure they get to you.
Okay.
The world's
So you
happiest
can
lion.
call me, or if you want to do it right now, we can. Or,
Yeah.
But if it's more comfortable for you,
It's a
you
busy
can just
weekend
call
at
us
job
and
fairs
we'll
all over the
confirm
country.
We have the right one and get them sent out to you.
Okay. Yeah, I can
We
do
are
that. Or if I
helping
email
the
you correct
unemployment
address, will that
crisis
work?
as we speak.
Yes, that works as well.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna tell you folks also that if you're going to rely on
That
statements.
is correct, Terry. We got a
someone
case.
else made, you'll need to have that person available in
Drop
court
the H.
at the next hearing.
But we will have a case of the chases.
So I'm correct.
In about an hour and
Really, I do not have to
11
provide
minutes.
Dale Fisher with copies, that you will do that.
I will do that. I want to clarify that technically speaking, it is your
What
responsibility.
do you got? They're boring me at the
You were
moment.
running the office at that point.
All right, then it looks like the omnibus order is
It's going
complete
on
and
the very
agreed
sad Matt Lee in the middle.
that that Ms. Young has one outstanding obligation, but that's going to be completed by the end of this week. That there is a general denial.
That was good timing. They just cut out.
What's going on with the
Do you
ceiling
have
there
a
at
3-5
Ethan's
stipulation
house?
yet, Ms. Young?
No.
Well, patchwork.
Maybe he's on his boat. I see
And so
he's got
when
a
will you
nautical
get that
theme.
filed?
Usually those are provided by the prosecutor's office. As soon as I get one, I can file it the same day.
All right, and Ms. Young, your client did not sign the
FYI, I
omnibus
got a hard
order.
out
Did you go over that with him?
at 3.
Yes, we didn't go over the order itself, but we went over everything that's contained in it.
And
All
and I'll
right.
just note that I noted in there, the tox report is still outstanding. I did contact the lab, and they informed me that they would put a rush on it. They still couldn't give me an exact time when that would be back, but it would change
Jackie's a
from
girl
12
today.
months to about maybe 1 month. I
All
don't know if
right,
you
well,
got-
I'm going to go ahead and enter the omnibus order, and it's on for pretrial next week, and Judge Edwards will hear the pretrial and go
I
from
think the
there.
judge freshened up her
So Ms.
lipstick. It
Young,
looks
if you'd get the
way
3-5
better.
stipulation submitted,
dark.
that would
Right,
be
Flusha.
excellent.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. That's all for today. And then State versus Harb.
What's up, Harb?
21-1-377-14.
Harb, are you here? There's Judge Pace, Attorney Pace about there in the courtroom in the
Mr. Lane, are you still with us?
Yes, Your Honor. I just heard the cause number. I didn't hear a name.
All right, it's Mr. Harb's case, and it looks like Mr. Harb is with us on the Zoom platform.
Correct. I don't think this was supposed to be set for a change of plea today because we're still waiting on the SOSA eval on this case as well that I'm supposed to be getting this
Judge
week
Paul is
from Ms. Thompson.
planning a fishing trip.
But also I was just provided with a new offer 10 minutes ago, which I'll have to go through with my client. So I'm asking that this be set over either 1 week or 2. This is not a case that's going to go to trial.
Well, let's do 2 weeks, and to give
I
you
got a
enough
new
time
one.
to get the evaluation
County District Court.
reduced to writing and go over the
Go
new plea
on.
agreement with your client. There is no trial date set right now.
Judge Lee. I don't believe we've ever been over here.
You'll need to unmute yourself before you.
Is
can do that.
Judge Lee
On your video,
a
please.
also a middle school vice principal? Because it looks like he's in his office right now. Jill, true patriot.
Yes.
Wrinkliest flag you've ever seen.
She just opened it up out of the Amazon package an hour ago.
How cool this flag look behind me.
Yeah, I'm a witness.
Okay, I'm gonna put you back in the waiting room.
Yeah, I'm a witness.
All right, if you can put your name on where it where you've got XT.
Put your hands where my eyes can see.
20, that would be helpful.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Next matter is
It's ajar.
State of Kansas versus Jade Nance, 22 TR 36. Council state their appearance, please.
State of
The
Kansas.
state appears by Judge Alon, County Attorney.
There appears to be no one present by that name. I will find that, this matter was set for 1:30. It's now 2:00. I am going to find they are absent from the court.
Warrant.
As she is charged with only speeding. All right, where it says Colin's iPhone,
Bench warrant.
who's that?
Hey, Ben Flipping Good. It's good to see you, bud.
Okay, please don't interrupt. Mute your phone until
I'm
you're
sorry.
Please
called.
shut up.
Sorry about that.
All right, Ms. Nance, there will be a
Bench warrant.
suspension letter to be sent to her
Hey, Mike, Blake.
for failure to.
Number one,
appear.
Dad.
Next matter is State of Kansas versus Christopher Jungers, 22 TR 47.
Great names.
Is there a Christopher Jungers present?
Sounds fake, doesn't it?
Mr. Jungers?
There does not appear to be
Uh-oh.
anybody by that name.
He's wanted for murder. We'll get him a
Mr.
suspension
Jungers
ticket.
is charged with speeding and operating a vehicle without a license or expired.
Shut
up! I'm not going to set a bench
Well,
warrant.
Creed, this was one of my new favorite places to hang out here at the Kansas courthouse.
Be sent to that defendant.
But there's a hard out that we've already missed, and
Your Honor, while you're going through a list, may I?
Yeah, I got a big order that I need to ship. You should see my day has been absolutely insane.
oh, speaking of insane, come back for Mini Chase Monday. 10 chases today.
This is
that
my
will-
current situation. Got the trailer all unloaded, just looking for like 2 pairs of shoes.
Oh my God.
Entire trailer. And I had to pull the trailer out from way out back.
Oh no.
It's been very annoying.
So make sure you're back here for Mini Chase Monday. If you haven't already subscribed, think about doing that maybe. Like this video if you're ever on Facebook. Follow us and share this out. That's the way to do it. Anything else?
Yeah, don't forget we'll be back here again starting at 1 p.m. East tomorrow. We got a case. We got a chase at 4:05, and we're doing we got a mystery tonight at 6, right?
Correct. Make sure you're there for all the excitement. We do everything here, Green. We do everything.
Don't forget, you got a little bit of time to go over and check out Law Talk with Mike.
Yeah, go check out our episode of Law Talk with
I don't know
Mike.
if I want to watch it.
We want to get you guys' opinion first
Let us-
before we look at it.
Yeah, let us know how it is before we.
Tell us how brutal the comments are in the comment section.
I'm not even going to look. Nope.
And then we'll go from there.
Well, see you guys here in about an hour.
Yep. Until next time, please remember.